Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Oh lord, this is a bit of a disaster. If you watched my goals video, then you know that one of my goals is to not buy as many books as I did last year. This is January. This is just January. I swear to God, I don't know what happens. I don't know what happened. The thing is though, I've read a decent number of them because my other goal is I have one of those Michael's carts, those book carts, and all my new books I put on there until I read them and I'm not allowed to fill it up. So I have read quite a few so that I can keep buying more. That has not deterred me whatsoever from buying books. It's a problem. And that cart holds a lot more books than I thought it did. But anyway, we're just gonna get into it. I'm not gonna talk about each book a lot. I'm gonna try and keep this pretty short. Pretty much just say the reason why I bought it and if I've read it or not, actually. So let's get into the books. We are going to start with the manga volumes. There are only 3 that I've bought this year, which I am quite impressed with, to be honest. And they are all volumes of Kamasami Kiss. And here the beauties are. I love them. So this is 10. This is 11. And this is 12. I love these. They're just adorable. They're adorable. They're so cute. And this is just a continuation of a manga I'm reading. So of course I want the next ones and I'm enjoying them. And this actually, what got me started on these was watching the anime. And the anime, if you don't know anything about anime, it often just does one season. So it leaves a lot of plot not in there, so I don't even know if the romance even starts in the anime. It's just hinted at, and then that's why I wanted to pick up the manga, because it actually, you know, evolves in this. Okay, so those are all the manga that I got, and we are on to the actual books. First up, we have a book that I've already read, obviously, because it is ACOMAF. I love these covers. I love the hard covers. I don't have any of the other ones, except for obviously A Court of Silver Flames. But I wish you could buy the box set, but in the box set is A Court of Silver Flames. Like, I wish they had a box set without A Court of Silver Flames in it. So I am going to be slowly buying these, but ACOMAF is obviously my favorite, so I went ahead and bought the hardcover of that one, because I tend not to reread ACOTAR. I'll reread ACOMAF and ACOWAR, so I do plan to do a reread of this one very soon. But actually, I actually read the end of ACOTAR the second that Reese shows up. I read from that point on. And yeah, I'm excited to get into this, and I really like this cover. I have the original paperbacks, and they're so read through that, like, the spines, actually, I think my spines are okay still, but I'm worried about continuing reading them, because, like, don't judge me, my original Twilight books are falling apart. I had to get a second set of hardcovers to read those, because my paperbacks are very fallen apart. So yeah, don't judge me. But anyway, that was one of my purchases this month. Probably shouldn't have done that on top of all the other stuff I bought, but when I was at work and I suddenly was like, I want to read it, and I ordered it. So next, we have Hellbent, obviously. I'm actually currently reading this one. I am almost finished. My husband and I are reading it together, otherwise I would have been finished. I would have read this all in one day, because it is something. It is something. Obviously, this is the second book in the Ninth House series. I'm not going to say anything else. It's Dark Academia. It is so much fun, and I love the Barnes & Noble cover. We got there super early to get the red cover because I wasn't sure how fast it was going to sell out, and of course it hasn't sold out. But I was nervous because we had what was it, Stephanie Garber's pink covers sold out in some of our stores here, so I was like, I am not going to miss the red cover. So I got the red cover, very happy, love it. Next is actually, it was an impulse purchase and I regret it. I'm going to get the other cover, but I was at Barnes & Noble already and I ended up getting the Barnes & Noble edition of it, and I don't like them. I don't like the black covers, but they weren't selling the white covers. It's like they knew people wouldn't like the black ones as much, but I don't have the original series in the black covers, so I don't want this. Although, I mean, I want the bonus content. I want the bonus content, but I don't want the black cover. So, and I don't think it looks very good. Like, I feel like it looks like it's rendered weird. So I will be getting a white cover of The Stolen Heir at some point. I just don't know when. And obviously, if you don't know, this is a continuation off of the Cruel Prince series, following Oak and Surin. The next book that I got is another one I'm actually actively currently reading, and I'm still unsure how I feel about it, but it's a book that I just picked up, and it is Lunar Love. It is book of the month, and I am on a deadline because one of my other goals is to finish all the book of the month books that I pick up in a month, the new ones, not any backlists, to finish it in that month. So I have about 3 days, I think, 2 days, to read this. And I am about 50 pages in, probably less than that, 30. I'm 30 pages in. So I gotta get moving if I'm going to finish this, because I'm trying to take my reading a little slower, because I feel like I've rushed through some books this month, and that's kind of hurt my reading experience a little bit. But this one is just a cute little romance about a matchmaking company enemies to lovers situation going on. So it sounds cute. The next one that I got is one that I've already read. I read it last year, but because it is a special edition, it didn't come until this year, but it is Kingdom of the Feared by Kerri Maniscalco. This is my Fairy Loot edition, and as you probably know, Fairy Loot is a little in trouble. They really gotta work on their quality control, guys. Like, you really gotta work on it. There is no excuse for getting color matching wrong. This is a series that is beloved, and people are spending hundreds of dollars on buying these books, especially second, like when you buy them on Mercari and stuff. So we want them right. We want them correct. There is no reason, I know it's harder to see on the camera, but there is no reason for the first 2 books to have a black spine and then the third be maroon. That makes absolutely no sense. I get more with color matching on this because that can be a little difficult, but I don't know why you don't have like reference copies and you spray one and then you look at it and be like, oh, that's wrong. Because this is gray and the color in the flowers is also different. So it's just like, I don't know what they were thinking, because it's just going to cost them money. So anyway, they are going to send out replacements. This just makes me, it doesn't make me as mad as other people. It doesn't, because I'm showing them this way, and to me it's not a huge difference on this side, especially the lighting in the room I have them in. This side would annoy me, but because I'm displaying them this way, whatever. And this is beautiful, but they need to get it together. They need to get it together, or people are going to stop ordering special editions from them. Although it's not really happening because Bookish Box, all of their special editions are screwed up and everyone just keeps buying them anyway. The next one that I got, I have not read, which is a problem because I haven't read the first book either, but it is now on my have to read shelf. So now I have to read the first one as well. But it is the Atlas Paradox. This is my Fairy Loot edition. And then they do stuff like this, which is perfection. This is absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that. It could not look any more perfect if they tried. So this is following the Atlas 6. I have not read it. It's Dark Academia. It sounds great. It's very divisive. It's very divisive. People seem to either love it or really hate it. So I'm really nervous to read it since I have 2 copies of both books, I think, at this point. Okay, and the next 2 books are backlist book of the month books, so I don't need to read them this month, but I really want to. They're 2 books that I actually really want to get to. This was a FOMO purchase, Piranesi, because everyone was talking about it last year, and I just, every time I look at it, I'm like, I want to know what's happening. I want to know what this book is about, and it's pretty short. So this is a good one that I'll probably save for a readathon, some type of readathon. This would be a really good one. So this one sounds good. All I know is it has to do with like a weird house and some sort of thing that lives in the house and knowledge. That's all I know. I feel like a lot of people have said go into this not knowing that much because it is weird. Okay, the next one is going to be a difficult read for me, but I tend to like these difficult reads, which is probably kind of weird. But My Dark Vanessa, everyone who reads this says it's really difficult, but it's wonderful. Really excited for this one. Hopefully I'll be getting to this one soon. And I love the spine on this one. The next one is Fairy Loots. I don't know what box this came in, so I don't know what spoiler this is. This is either the December box or I think it's the December box, or it was the adult box. I don't think it was the adult box. But anyway, this is Cruel Illusions by Margie Fuston. And the more I look at it, the more I love it. I did not like it really when I first saw it, but it's something. It's very vampire-y, reminiscent. And of course, the sprayed edges are stunning. And that's pretty much all I know, is it's some sort of game. And it says Caravel meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So that's pretty much all that I need to know about it. The next one that I got is actually the second book in the series. I already read the first one and it's in here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it is Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I plan to read this in February. Kind of my goal, if I don't get ahead of myself, is to read one of these a month, because there's quite a few that are out, so it also will tamper down my spending, because they're short books, so I'm going to finish them quickly and try to get the next one. So kind of trying to hold off and read one a month, but they're interesting. I'm not really even sure how I feel about them, so I don't even know if I'll finish the series. But I did get the second one, and I'm curious to see what happens in it. But if you don't know, this is the Wayward Children series, and it is basically about children who get lost in like portal worlds, and then they get shoved back into the real world, and most of them just want to go back. So that's kind of, we're following kids that are like that. Okay, my most recent purchase actually is The Davenports. This wasn't supposed to come out until January 31st, but luckily they had it out early. They also had Chain of Thorns out early, and I brought it up to the register, and the guy looked at me and he goes, I literally can't sell this to you. I may be fired if I sell this to you. I'm like, don't worry about it. It was a lucky thing, but you may want to get the rest off the shelf because there's like 100 on the shelf right now. And he was like, oh my God. So, but I didn't end up getting this one early because this is not a hard hold at the bookstore, because some books have hard hold releases, like Cassandra Clare books, and Hellbent probably had one as well. But this is following, I think this is like the 1810s. 1910. Numbers are really hard for me. 1910, and it is following a wealthy black family who are part of the Davenport family. I believe it said that it is following, like, it's reminiscent of the real family, so that's really cool, but it has to do with romance and the drama of the period and civil rights movements. So it sounds really, really good. I love this cover. I do wish it wasn't shiny. That was my biggest qualm with this when I saw it. I just didn't see, like, I like this, but I also don't like the glossy. I don't like that. I wish it was more matte, like this. It's just nicer to like touch. But it looks so good that I got it anyway, and I think this is going to be a super fun read, and it's definitely want to get to in February. The next one that I got is, I think this is finally, yeah, Fairy Loots Adult January, possibly. It is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. I love this edition of it by Roshani Chokshi. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, and it makes me want to read it so badly, and the sprayed edges are stunning. They are so good. I don't know if I've ever seen sprayed edges that look that good. They look amazing. And I think they said this has Mexican Gothic vibes with Invisible Life of Addie LaRue vibes. That's like, you're speaking to me. But other than that, I don't really know anything else. The next one that I got is from Pango, actually. I think a lot of the next ones are secondhand buys. But a lot of people have been talking about it, and good and bad things. So I got Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. And I am planning to keep this for either Halloween later in the year, or if they do, who is it? Gabby Reads, if she does Spring-a-Ween, I may hold it for that, but I don't know. I just kind of want like spooky vibes while I read this, but I may do that next month, because in February I am doing a Halloween Bloody Valentine reading vlog, because I'm trying to do one reading vlog a month. I got 2 out this month, at least I think. It depends how post-production works. I love calling it post-production, even though it's really not that fancy. But maybe I'll read that next month. But this sounds really good. It has to do with, I think her father's like a serial killer. And it says perfect for fans of The Haunting on Hill House, as well as HBO's true crime masterpiece, I'll Be Gone in the Dark. So I don't know how accurate that is, but I think it sounds fun. A lot of people read the ending and they're like, so I'm really curious how I'm going to think about the ending. The next one was an impulse purchase, because I was already getting another book on this buy one, get one 50% off thing. So I was like, okay, let me just get this. So Life from Uncommon Stars, I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and I've been wanting to read more sci-fi, and we're following a young transgender runaway and a character that made a deal with the devil where she has to entice 7 other violent prodigies to trade their souls for success. So I think that sounds fun. Sounds fun. I feel like it's gonna be very emotional, which is probably why I keep putting it off. But yeah, impulse purchase. Sometimes impulse purchases are the best purchases. Okay, and the next one was it's on my list to read, but I wasn't planning on picking it up. But Barnes & Noble put it out and slapped a 50% sticker on it. Like, do you know how Barnes & Noble still has like the 50% off sale on random things? This is a brand new release that was 50% off. And I was like, yes, I will be getting this. But A Ruinous Fate by Kaylee Smith. I love this cover. I love this cover. I know it's like a young adult fantasy about a cursed realm. Fate does not choose the weak, fate chooses the ready. And that's pretty much all I know about it, and it has to do with the fates. And there is a giant map in the front, and I am a sucker for books with maps. Okay, the last in this pile is a book that I have read, and it is Age of Vice by Deepti Kapoor, and I still don't know how I feel about this one. I am so impressed with myself that I read this book. It is so long. Some pages are definitely, like, it's not as long as it seems. I would cut probably 50 pages from the total, and that's probably how long it is, because there are some pages that are literally like 3 words on them. So this is very emotional. It is very dark. It is every trigger warning I can possibly imagine is in this book. So at your risk, you can read this, but we're following basically 3 main characters and their lives converging in India. The corrupt nature of one of the families is pretty much the catalyst for everything that happens in this book. So like I said, read with caution. Read with lots of caution, because this book is a lot. This is a hard book to get through. Okay, the ways I stacked those is not satisfying. Just don't look at them, okay? Just don't look at them. On to the second pile. We have Episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. I have already read this. This is going to be in a reading vlog. I don't know what's coming out first. I think this will probably come out first, and then the reading vlog will come out. But this is in a upcoming reading vlog where I read this and The Stolen Heir, so make sure to subscribe so you catch that. And the next one I bought is actually a purchase that I purposely got it because of this author's TikTok. It was so funny. So she's getting emails from someone who hated her book, and it is actually hilarious, the TikToks that she has. But it is The Perfect Marriage by Geneva, I hate when stickers cut it, Rose. And no idea if this is good, don't really care. And I bought it from Target instead of getting it secondhand because it's just so funny. I don't even care if it's good. The TikToks are so funny. So I have to support her. My husband was fully on board with it because he was watching them with me, and they're just so funny. They're so funny. Everyone in the comments is also like, I'm buying your book. It sounds great. And it actually does sound really fun. It sounds like a popcorn domestic thriller. So I will probably enjoy this, but we'll see. Hey, here's the first one. Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire. First in the Wayward Children series. I still don't know if I really enjoyed it, but I definitely liked aspects of it, and I definitely enjoyed it enough to continue in the series to see what else is going to happen in these books. The next one that I got is a Book of the Month book. I have already read it. It is What Lies in the Woods. I actually tabbed it, and this is actually, I have a full review out for this because it was something. It was something. So make sure you go check out that full review. The next one that I got, and that I kind of started, but then I put off because, I don't know, his books just intimidate me, but it is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I'm so nervous about this one because his last book I gave 5 stars, The Final Girls Support Group, I absolutely adored. And so I'm really nervous about this one because I really want it to be good. I really, really want it to be good, especially after just reading a dud of a horror book earlier this year. So I'll probably, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this one, but I really want to get to it soon. I'm just very intimidated to start it. Okay, the next couple books are special editions, so I hope I don't ruin anything, but this is a Lumicrates special edition from November's box. I have a full unboxing for that up, but it is The Luminaries, and this is another book, the more I look at it, the more I'm obsessed with it. But, oh, it's so pretty. And this is, like, exactly my vibes. This is the same author as the Witchlands series, which I have not read yet. I have upstairs. I haven't read it yet. But this is, like, dark forest vibes and monster hunting vibes and competition vibes. And it's just, like, everything. It's everything. And I'm so excited to read it. Next one is actually from LitJoy's final young adult crates, because now they've switched over to the To Be Read and the TBR crate. And this one is Children of Ragnarok with blue sprayed edges. It's so heavy. It's so heavy. And I don't know why. It's so heavy. But it's beautiful too. It's signed page and papers. It's stunning. But it is so flippin' heavy that I'm always confused when I pick it up. And I'm just like, is it made of rocks? Is this book actually made of rocks? But yeah, it has something to do with Ragnarok. And Vikings, maybe? That's all I got. That's all I got for you on this one, but it sounds really cool. I really, really love this cover. So another one I'm excited, kind of nervous to pick up because it's a little out of my comfort zone, because it's more mythology based than just plain fantasy based. So we'll see how that one goes. I think my last special edition in the pile is one that I got secondhand on Mercari, and I got Monsters Born and Made, and I am really excited about this one. I've heard terrible things about it, but I'm still really excited about it, enough to the point that I got this special edition because it's so pretty. And then, I mean, it's so cool. It's so pretty. And it's also really heavy. It is weirdly heavy, but it just feels so nice. And this is why I wish Bookish Box, like, that's why I wish that they were consistent, because I would easily get their box every month, because I think, like, when they do well, it's amazing. The problem is they're so freaking inconsistent that I can't. But anyway, this has to do with some sort of monster hunting competition thing going on. So winning contender receives gold and glory. So I like competition books, so we're gonna try it out. It's also really short. I didn't think it'd be that short. Okay, the next one I actually got for my Penguin Random House rewards, and it is The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna. I actually really liked the first book. The first book I got in I think an OwlCrate box, and I really, really liked it. So when I had my, like, free reward thing, because make sure you're doing that. Make sure you save your receipts and input your rewards for Penguin Random House, because you get free books for every, I think, 12 books basically that you get. So if you buy as many books as I do, that's a lot of free books. So The Merciless Ones, I'm really excited about this. It follows the first book, The Gilded Ones, I think is the first one. So I'm excited. I'm probably gonna have to do a recap of the first one before I get into this, because it's been a little while, but I think it's gonna be good. Okay, the next one that I got is a Pango buy. I got this pretty cheap on Pango. Honeys, Honeys, Honeys. I've been really, really wanting this one, but again, it's a little out of my wheelhouse because it's like young adult contemporary, but it's dark contemporary. Also, I love these end pages. If you can't see them, they're honeycombs, and they're actually like feel like they have a texture to them. They're really cool. But I love this cover. It is probably one of my favorite covers I've seen in a very, very long time. It's just so beautiful, but this is supposed to be like dark. So I was very, very excited to get this, but I didn't want to buy it full price because I don't know if I'm going to like it. Young adult contemporary is very hit or miss with me, but this one is one that I really wanted to read, so I ended up finding it. Very exciting, and picked it up. Okay, next one that I got was part of the buy one get one 50% off, which was surprising, but it is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. It is Talia Hibbert's young adult first release. Very exciting. I have read it already. I thought it was really, really cute. It was probably a highlight of January, actually, and I can't wait for her to come out with more of these. I think this would be really fun, and I can actually see her continuing this like she did with the Chloe Brown series. There's a lot of characters in here, and I think she could continue with some of the characters in here, which I hope she does. And the next book that I got, it was a DNF. It was a DNF, guys. You gotta watch. I'm doing my wrap up in a few days, and I will talk about it then. But it is The Reunion, one of the book of the month choices by Kayla Olson. We were following two movie stars who used to be actors together in a TV show, and now there's like a reboot reunion episode. So they are coming back together, and it's best friends to enemies to lovers, I guess, because they had some sort of falling out when they were kids. but they always liked each other, etc. Whatever. So that's kind of what this book is about. I tried with this book really hard, but that's all I'm gonna say. So make sure you subscribe for when I come out with my wrap up when I talk about those. All right, last 3 books. 2 of them are from Pango. We have Thank You for Listening, and this was part of the Goodreads Romance Category Awards for last year, and it sounds really, really good. It has to do with podcasting and pretty much anything, or audiobook narrator. Anything that has to do with stuff like that, I just am interested in. So that's what we're doing. I really, really like the cover. And then, I don't know why I did this to myself. Actually, I know exactly why I did this to myself, because my coworkers were talking about it when I was at work. And I made the mistake of buying it, because it now goes on that freaking reading book cart, and it has to stay there until I read it. So this is taking up the space of another book. So I'm a little unhinged about it, because I didn't want to read a Colleen Hoover. I actually have Verity. I was planning on reading Verity because I think it's the most likely what I'm going to like out of her books, but I wasn't planning on reading any other ones. Now I have one. It's gonna happen. So anyway, I have It Ends With Us, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. And finally, if you do not want a spoiler for the Owl Crate young adult box for January, I'm about to show it. I do have the full unboxing on my channel, but I am about to show the book. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm about to show you their special edition, and it is completely different than the original book. So it is The Buried and the Bound. Okay. So here's the book. It is stunning. I love it. It is so much better than the original cover. So that is that special edition, but it's just got foresty, dark, young adult fantasy vibes, and creatures are bad, I guess, monster things. So very excited about that. Terrible stacking job, but there are the books that I bought in January. I hopefully don't plan on buying anymore. If I do, they will be going into next month's, but I keep a very detailed record of everything I buy as a deterrent, and it hasn't worked yet. It has not worked as a deterrent yet. So yeah, it's great. It's great. How many books is this? 34. It is 34 books, I think. I can't count a lot, so if I'm wrong, whatever, but it's close to 34, and I have a feeling next month is going to be just as bad, because there's a lot coming out next month. I will say some of my most anticipated books of the read of the year did come out this month, so that did not help the situation, but man, it's a problem. It's such a problem. But anyway, that is my video for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing my distress. Oh, there's so many books. It's such a problem. Anyway, hopefully you're having a lovely day, and make sure you subscribe so you see more content like this. Hopefully not this bad in the future. I don't have any hope that it won't be this bad. And make sure you like the video. Make sure you let me know what you think down below. If there's any books that you've read or you want to get in this video, make sure you let me know. Or any books that I missed that came out in January that I haven't bought yet. You know I'm gonna buy more. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.